Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome back to Virtual Road Trip. Glad to have you back for another ride. And I think I got a good one for you today. It's another two-parter. It's probably the longest one I've done so far, and it's a good one. We're going to be heading up to yet another famous upstate New York town. This one, the one and only Cooperstown, New York. Yes, home of the Baseball Hall of Fame, but also home to a lot of beautiful scenery as well. And as you'll see here, there's a lot of beautiful scenery along the way. So yeah, I was out recording this a few days ago, and beautiful day, a little hot, but bright, sunny, and got about a third of the way through the recording the trip, and my main camera here decided to crap the bed on me in the middle of the trip, and I wasn't too happy about that. But I improvised. I did what I had to do and used my backup camera that I usually use to record side views and other stuff like this right here, and use that as the front camera, and kind of rigged up my GoPro to kind of put it out the window and get some side shots. I think it came out good. Perhaps I have a new method of filming now. But anyway, you'll notice in a bit here the video quality will change a little. I don't think the secondary camera is quite as good as this camera. Although now this camera is worthless because it's broken apparently. So anyway, I just wanted to get that out of the way. Otherwise, enjoy. So we're going to be going through a lot of these little towns along the way. Right now we're deep in the Catskill Mountains, as you can see, and we'll be heading kind of in a northwesterly direction and turning a little bit to the northeast as we head up towards Cooperstown. The entire way will, or almost the entire way, will be on Route 28, which is what we're on right now. So not much road changes for me to keep track for you. Anyway, I'll get more into Cooperstown history and more about that region in part 2, including the central region of New York. For now, we're just going to enjoy a lot of these views as we head through these U-shaped valleys of the Catskill Mountains, and it's a beautiful day, so sit back and enjoy. Interesting little tidbit for all you road nerds out there. Right now we're actually on what's known as a wrong way concurrency, and that happens when you have one routed road going signed in one direction, 28 north, and another road along the concurrency signed in the other direction, which in this case would be Route 30 south. It's it's something that happens more often than you think, and when you look at a map, it actually makes more sense, because just because the road says it's going north doesn't mean it's going to go north the whole time. That's just basically the general way it's taking you. And I know everyone out there just loves learning about roadway concurrencies. It's an exciting topic, right? So as I mentioned earlier, this is a pretty long trip. It took about almost 4 hours in all. That was with a few pit stops and some stops to change cameras and whatnot with all the mishaps I had. But it's a pretty good trek, and I hope to do more of these longer road trips in the future. You know, there's only so many places in my local area I can go and do road trips that are worth any interest. I'm sure you don't want to watch, you know, a commute into work or anything like that. So hopefully we can branch out a little further, maybe into some other states. You know, just make sure you support the channel any way you can, and hopefully get out there more. I don't know if you'll be able to notice on the video here, but this is a typical Appalachian style landscape where you encounter in this area. That's essentially what the Catskill Mountains are part of, the greater Appalachian system. And this, as we get further west, we definitely transition more into a ridge and valley type landscape. You'll get, you know, long ridges that don't get terribly tall, but stretch for long distances, and in between them, wide, glacially dug valleys, basically in the shape of a U. That's why I called it a U-shaped valley. A lot of farming up here, a lot of cattle. There's a town that we'll be passing through. In fact, I think we're in it right now, called Bovina, and as you can imagine, there's a lot of cows in that area. So it's definitely beautiful. Sorry about the wind there. Like I said, I had to improvise a little bit, and from this point on is when I had to switch to the secondary camera, and I think it still came out pretty good. You can tell the color saturation is a little different, but it still gets the point across. So from here on out, including part 2, it's going to look like this, and still get the same scenery. That doesn't change. We're heading down into a town called Delhi, into another valley here. It's a nice little town. There's a college there, some nice golf courses in the area, and it's, you know, your typical Catskill Mountain town. Nice, secluded. Here in town, we'll be meeting up with New York Route 10, which is another very scenic road throughout most of its route through central and south central New York. Perhaps one day I'll be able to get out there. As we head out of Delhi here, we're going to be turning a little bit more towards due north, and our next stop will be the city of Oneonta, which is where I'll end this first part 1 video. Until then, though, we're going to be going through the rural part of northern, kind of northwestern Delaware County before we get to Otsego County, which is our destination county. Delaware County is one of the biggest. Oh, there's a cop. Ooh. Okay. Delaware County is one of the biggest counties in New York, so being in one part of it can look very different than being in another part. And this is the northwestern part. I also wanted to mention that this entire area is the watershed for the headwaters of the Delaware River, both the East Branch and the West Branch. So the same Delaware River that provides the border for New Jersey and Pennsylvania and empties into Delaware Bay starts as two tiny creeks up here in these mountains. Pretty cool. We're coming up to the county line here as we head into Otsego County right here at the sign. And we're going to be going down a pretty good descent here into the Susquehanna Valley. And the Susquehanna River, which is a significant river in the Northeast, is what we'll be following north towards Cooperstown. When we get to the bottom, we'll be in the city of Oneonta, and that's where I'm going to end this part 1 video. As always, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to, do the usual: comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share the video. Trying to get these videos out to as many people as I can. So any help is appreciated in that regard. Stay tuned for part 2. Should have it out in no more than a week, probably less. And until then, you know the drill. Sit back and enjoy the ride. See you next time.